Jag med mig en fantastisk gäst som heter Elisa Namaste. Hon är en inspirationstalare och clairvoyant influencer. Hon är ett med allt runt omkring henne och en nyckel till kunskap och transformation. Hon tycker om att hjälpa mänskligheten att se den fulla potentialen och gör oss medvetna om att vi har ett val av frihet och kärlek inom oss. Lisa sitter i Danmark och pratar engelska, så vi kommer att ha ett engelskt program idag till stor del. I'm going to talk a little bit Swedish here today because I have an English speaking guest called Elisa Namaste, and I would like you to introduce yourself, Elisa. Who are you?
Hi. Well, that's always a hard question, right? Who are we? But I guess the most easy way to put it is that I am this spiritual teacher kind of thing that just are highly sensitive and are able to connect with everything there is. And I use that to help people to connect with everything within themselves and through that maybe understand what is around them. Yes, that's the short version.
Yeah, oh, thank you. And we are having this conversation online. So you are located right now in Denmark, is it right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So how do you do your work, or how do your days look like?
Well, I guess my days are never really the same. I always let the flow choose what to do, but in the moment we are all playing these lockdown things, so the retreats and workshops that I'm normally doing are on a hold. But that gave me a lot of time to tap into write my second book together with a Swedish lady actually named Annette, and I'm using a lot of time in making these energetic bracelets for people. And on a personal level, I really love movement in life. So I'm running a lot barefooted and jumping to the ocean and just whatever I can do to create this feeling of freedom within myself. So yeah, so I can be that.
Oh, it sounds fantastic. I like the nature also, so I'm also very like a nature-born child. I love horses and the woods and everything like that.
Oh, and actually understand each other.
Yes, and I thought it was so funny because you asked me, is it going to be with a picture or because you were all muddy? And I say, oh my God, I love her already.
Yeah, I was out in the forest, and I just needed to jump to the ocean and run barefooted. And then when you're running in the forest, there's mud everywhere, and eventually you look like a 3-year-old kid coming home.
Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely. So normally you do workshops and other things like that. What kind of workshops do you do?
So the workshops I do I call it interactive workshops. It's basically where I never prepare anything. I believe that we always should be driven by the moment and the flow of the energy which is there. So people come and they have sometimes questions, whatever is within their heart or their soul, and they can ask that. And from there we tap into where we need to go on that day. In the beginning, when I made workshops, I thought I need to make a broke run like everybody else. But we come at the day, and the energy was something completely else than I planned. So I realized this is not for me. I work with the universe and whatever is represented on that day, and just let the energy take us where we have to go.
That's great. I often hear that now. A lot of people When we go to different seminars or educations, or when you perform, or even when you go to like an osteopath or something, they all tend now to tap into the now moment and just hold space for the participants or the clients.
Mm-hmm. I believe in this new time, it's so important that we let go of all this structure of telling people what to do. We let go of this idea that we hold the one and only truth. We're simply here to be guidance. We're simply here to show people how to follow their own truth and help them to learn trust themselves. It is no longer time for gurus.
No.
It's time for people to stand within their own truth, and within that we can stand together in recreating this world reality. And I'm only glad to hear that you see more and more people do like that. That's really positive.
What do you say? It's a big relief that you don't have to get stuck into a box, and you don't have to like do this and otherwise it won't work. You have it's so much in the old way of doing things. There's so much rules, and you should do this and this and this and this, and I think it's such a big relief, and it opens up so much for each and everyone to really express themselves.
True. I really love that as well. And what I see for many people is that it's quite challenging because they are brought up with the way of fitting in boxes and fitting in norms and have to do and should do and stuff like that. So for many people, it takes a bit of time to break through these borders and barriers and realize that they can trust flow, within their own hearts. But
Yes.
The only thing we can do is follow ours and be that example that can help them to see themselves.
Yes, that's very true. Do you have like a magic wand or something when people come to you? So what is the biggest challenge you see in people now to have them to realize that they should trust themselves?
They tend to follow fear instead of following their hearts. So fear of losing, fear of not doing, fear of missing out, fear of instead of the heart and the excitement of doing, or the heart and excitement of following. So I think a big shift for humanity would be to look into what do I actually do out of fear and what do I do out of heart desire. Learn to feel the difference between the two. It's quite interesting when you look at it within yourself. You will be surprised.
Yes. And do you have like for our listeners some what can you do to really know what to really know from which part you are acting? If you're not sure if you're acting from fear or if you're acting from love.
I think the most important thing is to become self-aware. And in the end, it doesn't actually matter if you are acting from the one place or the other place, because it's all a part of you, right? So to fully integrate, whatever that means that you also have to accept all aspects of yourself, of oneself. So allow yourself to listen to the echoes, allow yourself to listen to all the mind patterns, all the fear, as well as all the love. And the trick is to learn to accept it all, but don't let the fear control you. Just thank it for being there. Look at it. Allow it to flow through your system. Understand where it comes from. If you have a lot of control, and this is something people are facing a lot in the moment, especially because of all these changes worldwide,
Yes.
And look at yourself. Why do I have control? When did I started to need to have control? And how have it served me so far? So that you come to love your patterns enough to let them go, instead of letting them control you, and instead of having resistance upon them. Because we know everything you have resistance upon, it stays, right?
Yes.
Yes. So a way to freedom is full acceptance and knowing what direction you want to go.
Yeah. I'm so happy that you say that, because it makes me like, oh, I want to do this. I want to do that. And still we live in this material world.
Yeah.
And we have like, I know a lot of people, they wish they had this. And if they had more money or more self-esteem, or there's always something missing before they can start living.
The funny thing is that this is just a hideout.
Yeah.
So if we want to find a reason to not fully taking part in life, we can blame it on obstacles that we believe we need to have in order of. But the truth is, what we truly are seeking is not that. What people say they are seeking money, it's not the money they are seeking. It's the freedom that comes with what you can buy from money, right? So what they internally are searching for is a feeling of fulfillment within themselves that they on some level are lacking. When they get to know that, they will be able to fulfill that need maybe from another aspect than money. And when that is fulfilled, you no longer have this resistance on money, and it will just flow automatically.
Yes.
Right.
Oh, I do some work with horses.
Mm-hmm.
I love horses.
Yeah, they're wise people.
Yeah, yes. And I was coaching a woman who was very, very afraid of horses, and still she wanted to be with the horses. And what you just said remind me of what I told her. I was asking her what kind of feeling she wanted to have from the horses, and it totally changes the mindset.
Yes.
It's so magic. So it's really nice to to hear you say that from another point of view. So I was just yeah.
Another part of it is also that if she's afraid of the horse, what she's feeling is fear. What the horse then is sensing is the fear within her, and then is reflecting that back.
Yes.
When you tell her to feel what she wished the horse to feel, she goes into this feeling of connection, maybe even love, and then she sends that out, and the horse will reflect that back.
Yes, and that was what happened. Yes, it was. Horses are the best mirror ever. So that was exactly what happened, and she wanted to feel like the freedom and the power and everything. And we started to work with the horses loose out in the paddock, and she really felt all those feelings, but without touching the horse, and with the horses completely free and just connecting with the energy. And she was so filled with joy and happiness and love, and so surprised because she had a picture in her head of how it should look like when she was with horses, and how it should look like when she was feeling this and that. And we managed to completely change that inner picture to another and make it real. So, well, it was a quick work, and it was really so magic.
It's beautiful. And the funny thing is that sometimes people search their whole life for how to change, right? And they go to all these therapists and stuff like that, and we believe that it has to be a long and slow process. But the truth is if you can truly realign with that feeling within yourself, you can shift it in a matter of days.
Yes. And I think also all those times we're living in now, the past year, it has shown us and shown a lot of people that don't know that already, that things can change quickly.
Yes.
And we are able to change quickly. We just need... yeah, that's such a big learning, because when we tune into what we really need or what we really would like to experience, and tap into that feeling, it goes quick.
Yes.
And also if we can like make up look at the problems, which we don't have, but when we look at the issues from another perspective, or turn them upside down, it makes our mind, it shifts so fast.
Change the perception you hold, right? So either you put yourself in a suffering role, like, why did people do this to me? Yeah. Or you can shift it around and look at it from another perception, saying, okay, what did I learn in that? What did I need to see? And how can I use that in my life moving forward? All the pain and suffering we have been through, it doesn't need to stay that way. It was like that in the moment. We need to go through the feelings. We shouldn't be in a state of denial, but when we have refilled it and let it through our system, so it's no longer is stuck in our emotional system, we can shift the perspective to understand the learning of it and the beauty within the development we got through it with. Always starting with a laugh.
Yeah, I love that. I love laughter.
Yes.
Oh, and I was just asking you in the beginning, what's your favorite subject to talk about, Elisa?
Love, she said.
Love, yeah. And I love it. Why is that?
Within the perception I hold, love is everything there is. Love is what cures everything within us. Love is our nature, right? So if we understand what love means, love is not just in a relationship. Love is not just for a brother or a sister. Love is within everything that exists. It is within everything we connect to, everything we combine. Love is within the water, the trees, the wood, even in the technology. Love is what binds us all together into oneness. So one could say I'm a little bit obsessed with the purity of love and how to help people to see that within themselves and within each other.
Oh, that's beautiful. How can we feel more love, and how can we experience love in different ways? We were talking about turning our mindset upside down, or but maybe is it do we need to turn our mindset upside down about love too?
I think we have to let go of our perception of what love should be and look into the feeling of love within our hearts. If you see, let's say you see a murder, right? I'm gonna take it dark.
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. And he's standing in front of you. You can choose to look at what he has done. You can choose to look at the scars in his face, or the dirt on his nail, or the anger expression he sends out. You can also choose to look at him with love. You could choose to look at that little piece of soul behind the scared and hurt child who did this crime, right? So when you are able to see love within yourself, but also within everything, it just kind of automatically occurs. There is nothing without it. It is up to us to choose which eyes we want to look at. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't see everything around it. It just means that it exists in everything created. If you have water, if you have a glass of water, you can choose to look at it with a feeling of nothingness, being like, well, water, I'm thirsty, let me drink it, right? You could also choose to look at it and take a moment to become conscious that it is consciousness. And literally have a feeling of love in your heart and send that love to the water. The water, the consciousness in the water will then respond upon the love vibration you're sending out. And it will start vibrating higher. And through that, it will visualize you even more because you loved it.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love water. Clearly.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
apparently.
Yeah.
Oh.
And it's so beautiful that you say that the water will love you because you have loved it. So it's actually like if you want to feel more love, you can start to send out more love.
You always have to start with yourself. You're not able to feel love around you if you're not able to feel love within yourself.
No.
If you have the feeling that you don't deserve love or that you are a broken person, people can put baskets of love over your head and you will not be able to pick it up. You will see everything as a threat or as something that comes with a price, so you don't dare to take it in. The moment that you surrender to knowing that you deserve love, the moment you surrender to feel love within yourself and for your being, you are able to accept and understand that people might love you back. And it will become easier to see.
Yes. Do you have like a quick exercise or something to...
I can share a bit of my own story.
Yeah?
Once upon a time, I didn't want to be on Earth at all. And I was on the rock bottom, as you say. I would wake up with thoughts in my head of why I shouldn't be on Earth and ways to tap out of here quick as possible. And I always told myself, well, if you go for a run and you don't find one reason to stay here, game over, you can tap out. It doesn't matter, but you need to try. So I would go for a run and I would allow all the shitty feelings to just run through my system. And then when they did that, I would reach the forest and I was not able to connect to humans because for me, that was too far away. And I was not even able to connect to animals because I felt that I wasn't worthy for that, funny enough. But I could connect to trees and I could connect to the sun. And I allowed the sun to shine into my heart because the purity within its light, I trusted. And so through that, I felt love. And that became for, I guess, half a year or so, my day-to-day reason to stay alive. And that also helped me to feel more and more love and more warmth inside. And from that, I could slowly build it up. So for me, I would say the exercise is accepting where you're at, what you're ready to resonate with. Can you resonate with animals, nature, stones? I love stones. Or
me too.
It's my favorite. Or even humans. Figure out what level you're at and start there. And slowly allow that love to fulfill your body system and gain more and more trust within that love, within yourself and within others as well.
Oh, it makes me feel like goosebumps all over my body when you say like, oh, I think we are all, we're all humans and we are all so intelligent that we actually, if we just hold still for a moment, we know what's best for us and we know how to connect again with the source or with love or whatever you call it.
Have to take a moment to tap out of our very busy monkey minds.
Yes, yes.
And just allow our heart to guide us. Just, okay, what do I feel? It doesn't take more than a breath to your heart and you will know. But we are so used to being in the mind. And like I started this interview saying, we are driven by fear. So therefore we also fear to feel what is in our hearts and fear to follow that, because can it be that I am allowed to actually follow what my heart desire? What? You know? No. Let's put fear upon it. It's not okay. I have to take care of the business and the house and blah, 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 blah. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. But the universe is magically in the form that whatever is meant to be, if you follow your heart, everything will magically fall into place. In the beginning, it will feel like it falls apart because the setting that you put yourself into will crack for you to step into whatever is else on your path, right? So in the beginning, it will always feel like separation, confusion, chaos for many people, and many people tend to get scared and go back to what they know as safe. But if you just dare to trust that heart of yours all the way through, you will step into your new self and whatever lies there of gifts along your path. This life can be magical, but we need to trust it and believe that it can be so.
Yes, we really need to trust life itself. But if you are there and you say, like, many people tend to go back again to their old self, do you have an advice? Like, how can we manage to hold on to our hearts and stay and keep on?
we shouldn't try to stay, because the moment that I tell you should stay in your heart, you have the fear of going out of it, right?
Yeah.
Paradox. But what we should do is we should feel what our heart wants, and we should go that direction. And then we should fully accept and allow whatever trouble that comes up along the path. I am far from perfect. I have a lot of emotionally wacko left and rights all the time.
Yeah.
But I believe it's part of being the full existence of what you are here. And it's a part of life. Earth was created with this duality thing, and we are supposed to play the game of that. But every time we lose ourselves, it's just about refining it and keep moving that way our heart wants us to go.
Oh, you make it sound so easy, and you sound so happy, and it makes me happy also.
Well, I'm glad that you're happy too.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking outside my window now and see that the spring is here.
Yay.
And
yeah, the first time I was out running and I was like, oh, could it be what? Spring?
Yeah. Finally. So, do you have like something, some ritual or something to share with us? What can we do when spring is coming, and that gives us more love, or that helps us to experience more love from nature?
Allow yourself to take it in. Allow yourself to take that moment to feel it and to love it.
Yes.
And to use it. Like, every season has its beauty, and this one as well. So the spring it's about renewing, right? It's things there. It's a new era in a way, and you stepping into a new part of yourself and a new opening. So it's really just allowing the season to do its work. And I don't do rituals, really. Like I told you, I don't like structures.
No, yeah.
So I just let the flow do it. For me, it's really a lot about this thing of just air. A lot of air and water, mud between the feet, dancing, whatever makes me feel free. And whatever within that I can share with those around me.
Oh, that's beautiful. I have a question about animals. Can I ask you a question about animals?
Whatever you like.
Yeah. since we have like domesticized, or what's this, domesticated the animals, like dogs and cats and horses. Sometimes, yeah, like we keep them in cages or we keep them with us. And some say like you shouldn't have like birds, or cats are free to walk in and out as they want, but like horses you have like in a stable and in a paddock. What do you think about that? The keeping animals in one way locked in.
So I have two perceptions of it. Well, I have a lot of them, but I'm gonna explain two of them.
Yes.
One perception is that everybody is supposed to be free, right? And animals was created in the free, and therefore, you know. The other one is that within this creation we are playing roles and we're playing games, and often it is so that the animals look like their owners, because there is a part of this, the soul learning within that connection. So often you have a person who feels a lot lonely, and that person gets a dog, and this dog is representing that love that this person is not able to gain anywhere within any human connection. So they become this love couple, and the dog fulfilled that within the human, and the other way around, until the dog is no longer needed on earth. This is a love setting which is attended that way. So in that form, I do not look at it as a cage. I look at it as a meeting of love. So I believe there's a difference between mass processing
Yes.
and meeting and connecting in love. For me, there is no difference between stones, waters, or animals. Only the amount of emotional memory within those. I have a lot of stones. I love stones like they were brothers and sisters and lovers. But it is only because of that bind of love that I can have them here. If I just have them because I wanted to own them or put them in a box and didn't care about them, I was disconnected to them, and therefore it was not in a harmonic flow. And I guess that is the greatest way of explaining it. For me, anyway.
Yes, and that makes sense to me too, because I think it's like it's the ömsesidig. It goes both ways. We need each other, and we help each other to develop and feel more love and experience life together. Yeah.
That's one.
Yes. And when it comes to all the stones and the nature, and when you have I have a piece of land, and I'm thinking about making a little pond. Yes. And yes, and how do you feel about making changes to nature in that way? When you make a pond, you need to dig into the earth and make some changes.
Well,
so
life is about changes, right? Yeah. We need to remember that nothing ever stops existing. It just changes into something else, whatever that something else is. If you go out, talk with the land, and ask, "Hey, dirt, do you mind me digging a hole here? I do it with love," you know? Then it's all fine. Then you are connected within that purpose. It is the same as when people are vegan and they say like, well, I don't eat animals. I'm like, no, but you eat the leaves, right? There's no difference. The only difference lies in the gratitude you have for what you become one with. So if you become one with the chicken, you will love. If you become one with the leaves, you will love. So if you and the dirt are together and deciding to make a pond, it is all within the love.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful said. Can you say that once again? When you connect with something, you do it with love, and then it becomes like
you become one with it. You
Yes.
are together in creating a new outcome.
Yes. So how can we change that? If we meet or if we visit a place or a house or a wood or
the best thing we can do is being love. And when we go to these places, for example, on this retreat we go to these energetic places with pyramids around the world, and what we basically do is we connect to the place, we allow the place to talk, and we connect with it with love and respect for its existence. So even places where people have not seen the stones for a long while, all you need to do is reconnect to it with love and care, and then it will become vibrated. Look at everything as if it was a newborn kid who don't have a voice yet, and it only reacts on pure instincts. So then what you have to do is you have to just send out love, right? And this little kid will respond back on that. We cannot change the whole world in the form of everything to Octopia. But what we can do is we can be the examples and to be our own greatest self. And share so much compassion and love possible. Within that, we need to also remember to share authenticity.
What do you mean by that?
I knew it. What I mean is that if we just say, I am love, I am love, I am love, and somebody punches us in the face and we say, I am still love, we are denying a part of us. We are denying the place where we're supposed to put a border or set a boundary or saying, hey, dude, you hurted me, I love you, but this is not okay, right? So to fully be love, I believe that we need to be our authentic self. And that just means, like I said earlier, that we need to learn to love every aspect within ourselves. If you love every aspect of you, you have no shadow side. You have nothing to hide. You are just pure within your existence.
Sounds so easy when you say it, Elisa.
I am great at making things sound very easy.
Yeah.
Special skill.
Yeah. Well, time flies, and I see we have been talking for quite a while now, and I'm so happy that you were able to talk to me today and visit Magipodden. And I hope you will have a wonderful spring and soon to be summer, and maybe we will talk once again, and maybe we will have some questions from our listeners to you.
Oh, that would be lovely. I will be happy to answer whatever's on the people's hearts or minds.
Yeah. That would be lovely too. We will post it out, so we will do a shout out. If you have any questions to Elisa, then please write to us at Magipodden. But for now, thank you so much, Elisa, and
You're welcome.
Take care now.
I wish you the very same, and enjoy the sun if there is any in Sweden at this moment.